Veteran Roger Staubach, number 12, will be the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. And for the New York Giants, also number 12, the rookie from Northern Illinois, Jerry Golsteyn. We're at Texas Stadium in the city of Irving, between Dallas and Fort Worth, and a sellout crowd fills this magnificent structure for the game between the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants. And good afternoon, I'm Pat Summerall with Tom Brookshire. And I hate to start on a negative aspect, but the hot weather is going to be a factor here in this contest this afternoon.
And the Giant bench is in the sunlight, but Andy Robustelli, the Giant GM, said that the sun does move, so maybe they'll score late.
I knew he'd know something like that. Realistically, Tom, what do you think of the Giants' chances?
Well, Golsteyn, a rookie quarterback, is not easy for the rest of the team. I do think they have to go outside to Moorhead and Robinson early to stretch out that good Dallas defense. And Zonka, if he's the same Zonka that intimidated before, they can keep him inside on a pretty honest basis.
A lot of people have wondered about the whereabouts of last year's Heisman Trophy winner, Tony Dorsett. And the reason he's on the bench is another very good athlete.
Well, Preston Pearson just did such a fantastic job and actually beat Dorsett out during the training camp, so they said the best player should win, and that's the way the Dallas team is. And, Pat, I really don't think that Dallas knows how good a football team they are yet.
All right, Tom, let's get down and pick up what's going on that hot field this afternoon. The Giants have won the toss. They will receive the kickoff. Frin Herrera, number 1 for the Dallas Cowboys. You see right there, will kick it off. And throughout the afternoon, you'll see those shadows creeping across the field, and as Andy Robustelli said to Tom Brookshire just before, the sun does move, and that spot's going to be moving throughout the day. It obviously causes us some problems with our camera, going from the shade to the sun like that. And it causes the players problems, too. Gordon Bell and Bobby Hammond are deep for the Giants, and this is Frin Herrera starting his trot for the kickoff. It'll be Hammond at the 2. About the 30. Good return for Bobby Hammond. They got the wedge in front, and they got it moving. Here's the offensive line for the Giants now.
And it's a pretty active one. Gravel, Van Horn now moved to guard where he plays much better. Hill, the fugitive from the WFL, playing pretty good center. Big John Hicks at right guard. And, of course, Mullen now moved to right tackle.
The receivers, Jimmy Robinson and Moorhead, wide, and Bob Tucker, the tight end. That's the backfield. Golsteyn, the quarterback. Doug Coder, number 44, and Larry Zonka. Zonka, of course, is 39. It's first down Giants at their own 30-yard line. First offensive play for Golsteyn. He fakes to Coder and fires to the outside, intended for Robinson. Benny Barnes was close to him. Dealing from the sun into the shadows, and that is the young man from Northern Illinois who missed last year because of a bad knee.
He's big, though, at 6'4". Here's that defense. That's Too Tall Jones, Jethro Pugh, of course, Randy White, the Rhinoceros, at right tackle and playing very well, and Big Harvey Martin, who turned him on last week.
The linebackers Henderson, Brunig, and Dede Lewis. And the secondary, Barnes, Aaron Kyle, Charlie Waters, and Cliff Harris.
And that's as good as there is in that secondary, maybe.
That might be as good a defensive unit as there is. On second down, Doug Coder runs into some of that defense and does not quite get back to the line of scrimmage. The whole front 4, the ones we just named.
Pugh and White in particular, the 2 tackles, pinched it off. Here is where the Giants must make the Dallas team play honest. Now, Zonka takes the fake. Good blocker, by the way, Zonka. And Coder is one of the sneaky running backs around, underrated, and a pretty good inside runner, but no chance there.
Jethro Pugh was the first big guy to wrap his arms around Doug Coder. Third down, and exactly 10 still. Giants at their own 30. Golsteyn with a long count. That might have worked. He ran the draw play to Zonka, but Ed Jones jumped off sides and could not get back. It'll be called encroachment. The referee is Gordon McCarter. You'll be hearing his voice in just a few minutes. The umpire is Paul Trapinski. Head linesman Jerry Seaman. Line judge Nathan Jones. Here we go. Back judge is Ray Douglas. The field judge is Armin Terzian.
It's hard to hide 6'9". Too Tall had no chance to get lost. Couldn't even go under the rug.
Offside, number 72, defense, third down.
Gordon McCarter confirms that it was Ed Jones that was offsides. It'll be second and third and 5. Make it. Coder coming wide. Charlie Waters, the first man out there, helped by Aaron Kyle. The second-year cornerback who's played so well in place of Mel Renfro.
Heck of a defensive play by Kyle, because actually the good block by Zonka on the linebacker, Henderson, made that play look like it was going to get the first down.
It'll be 4th and 5 at our first look at Dave Jennings. Butch Johnson is number 86 in the middle of your picture right now. Back alone for Dallas, a dangerous punt returner.
Let's see if they put pressure on Jennings.
They do not. They're trying to set up a return.
Ooh.
Oh, beautiful punt by Jennings. Butch Johnson fields at the 20. Breaks one tackle. Breaks another. Gets to the 26. And the Dallas offensive unit trots on the field, headed by Roger Staubach. We'll take a look at that offense, which has been sort of rebuilt. Pat Donovan has replaced Rayfield Wright at right tackle. Tom Rafferty has replaced Blaine Nye at right guard. John Fitzgerald still the center. Herbert Scott and Ralph Neely, the veteran left tackle. Those are the receivers. Richards, Pearson, Dupree. The backs, Staubach, Preston Pearson, and Robert Newhouse. First down, Dallas. 1st and 10. Ball is at their own 27-yard line. Dupree came in motion. The pitch back is to Newhouse. Newhouse still on his feet for about 8. Newhouse all the way out to the 35.
That time they ran right at Jeter, the big rookie from USC. He's number 70 to the bottom of your screen, and they'll straighten him up. Donovan is a very good offensive tackle. Once they got the defensive end moving back, here he comes back in to help on the play. But Newhouse, again, can hide behind his own blockers, and it's darn hard to seek him out.
That time he was right behind his off guard, Herbert Scott, that he bowled in underneath. So it'll be 2nd and 2 for Dallas at their own 35. Roger Staubach, the quarterback. Newhouse again. Newhouse close to first down.
Jack Gregory made the tackle. Let's go over that defensive Giant front four. It's Jeter at left end. Mendenhall, of course, at the nose, are the left tackle. Big Troy Archer, the kid from Colorado, who is fast becoming one of the fine inside rushers in football. And Gregory at the right defensive end. Van Pelt, Carson, Brian Kelly, a tackling bunch of linebackers. And there's your new secondary.
It is first down, Dallas. Somebody's going to go in motion. They're not going to run from that formation. You know it's Drew Pearson. That's Preston Pearson, and Brad Van Pelt is the first guy to make contact, and he closed in a hurry.
I tell you, he is really a load. And of course, there's Tom Landry, by the way, sitting in Butch Johnson with the play. We watched Landry last week under trying conditions in their tough game with the Minnesota Vikings. And I'll be darned if I saw any change in expression on Tom Landry, whether they were ahead or behind or almost losing it.
Even when Staubach went in on the plunge on overtime and won it, there was still no change. Of course, there was no change on the face of Bud Grant either. 2nd and 7 for Dallas, and Staubach fakes the draw to Newhouse. Throws. Dupree had it and lost it. Clyde Powers was the defender.
Super play. They almost had solo coverage, and that's just a tight end on a square outside maneuver. And there's nobody to get help from when you're solo, and Powers has always been pretty good at the solo type coverage.
So it'll be 3rd and 7 for Dallas. They beat Minnesota last week in overtime, 16-10. And the Giants upset Washington, 20-17.
Let's see if the Giants have a little bit of a pass rush. That might have an indication for us as to what the game's going to boil down to.
Staubach now operating from the shotgun, the deep formation. Dupree shifts back inside. Long count. Good snap. No, not much rush. Here comes Archer, and down goes Staubach. Troy Archer, who doesn't know how good he can be.
Jack Gregory says that number 77 right now doesn't even know where to go, and he's one of the best defensive tackles in football. The big kid from Colorado and Gregory's roommate. Now watch him keep coming. He tries to spin to the lower part of your screen, and now Roger tries to run, and we know what he can do with it. Archer is really a bear.
Tom, I guess the coverage must have been pretty good, too. Back deep for the Giants is Bobby Hammond, number 33. And to punt for Dallas is Danny White, number 11. Fine kick. Chase chases Hammond back to the 17. Trying to get across the field, can go nowhere. Randy Hughes, the guy who put the hand on him. And there, Tom, is another good athlete who can't get into the lineup.
Yeah, Randy just keeps waiting for somebody to get too old, and they're all too young.
Giants nothing, Dallas nothing.
Like I tell my friends, I said, see a Firestone deal if you're having trouble out your ties.
Ask a friend about Firestone, Firestone, Firestone.
When you're driving on a Firestone tire, it's a good feeling.
You and I, when we go to buy a tire, I don't believe we're experts. You need somebody to explain to you. That's why I feel like I depend on Firestone. I don't feel that they've ever let me down.
Firestone.
Some people think all color TVs are pretty much the same. I'm a TV service technician, and I say bunk.
In a nationwide survey, independent TV service technicians gave their opinion of color TVs. They picked one brand, more than any other, for highest quality and for fewest repairs. One brand, Zenith, for the 6th straight year.
Zenith says the quality goes in before the name goes on. And you know what? It really does.
Giants ball on their own 22. 1st and 10. Those Dallas cheerleaders have become almost as much of a famous part of this stadium and this football team as the football team itself.
I can't argue with that.
I didn't expect you would. 1st and 10. Jerry Golsteyn, the Giant quarterback. Larry Zonka, the Giant fullback, with not much doing. D.D. Lewis and 4 or 5 more. D.D. Lewis, number 50, led the charge against Zonka.
The Giants do not have a lot of great speed to the outside. Coder is a lot quicker than people think, but it's not a game breaker to the outside, and they know where Zonka can work, and that's to the left side of the formation. And it looked to me like then D.D. Lewis almost tackled Zonka as he took the hand off.
2nd down and 9. Golsteyn, the quarterback. Coder and Zonka, the running backs. Golsteyn to throw, and does. Lewis, the interception. To the 30, to the 25. D.D. Lewis. Out of bounds at the 5 for the Cowboys. Knocked out by Gordon Gravel.
There he is. And watch him hide in the shadow, or really he's out in the sun, but he has the short zone. Golsteyn does not see him. Tucker looks open. Look at this. And Tucker goes right onto the bench. He knew he was covered from the underside, but the rookie quarterback didn't. By the way, they regrouped and really put on a run back, didn't they?
Thomas Henderson out in front with a spectacular block. He just leveled one of the Giant players. First, right at the 10-yard line is where they ruled that D.D. Lewis stepped out of bounds. 1st down and 10 at the 10. To Newhouse. Ducks under one, spins for another one. What an effort by Newhouse. He turned nothing into 5 yards.
Brian Kelly has a real good shot at him early, and then Archer had a shot at him late, but again, Newhouse is about as short as you can be and carry 207 or 8 pounds. Look at this. Looked like he was on the gymnastics mat doing some kind of a walkover.
They got the ball in such a place that I'm not sure if it's 2nd and goal at the 6 or if it's 2nd and 6. I don't believe they can make it 1st down without making a touchdown. Preston Pearson to about the 2.
Wow. Cheater really buried him. Number 70 can move. Now there's McVay. He knows this is a very crucial time for the Giants. After the turnover, they got to be tough on defense. Watch number 70 to the left of your screen. 6'4", 260, a number 1 draft out of USC.
You know, in recent history, the Giants have had a reputation, although they haven't beaten the Cowboys many times. They beat them 14-6 in 1974, but they have been playing them tough lately.
Boy, they have.
So it's 3rd down and 2 at the 2. Staubach, touchdown.
That is a great call by a great quarterback. And he used watch him use the misdirection, Pat, when he moves his head. Watch him act like, oop, and then ducks back inside. And you can see that Mendenhall had taken that first head movement, which he had to do. He can do so many things as your signal caller.
He really set up the block by his center with that head juke. John Fitzgerald's job was made a lot easier by that maneuver. A friend Herrera with Charlie Waters holding. 7-0 Dallas. 8 minutes, 20 seconds. Here's the touchdown play again. Watch that.
Ground level action. Staubach using just a fraction of a second to juke you out of position.
8 minutes and 20 seconds left to play in the first quarter at Texas Stadium. Cowboys score first. They lead the Giants 7-0.
Europe's most successful new car in history comes to America. Introducing Fiesta. Now imported from Germany by Ford. Fiesta. It gave European drivers the precise control of rack and pinion steering. And road-gripping Michelin radial tires. The power that took it from 0 to 50 in an average of 8.8 seconds. And front disc brakes that brought it from 50 to 0 in an average of 3.3 seconds. Fiesta has the traction and control of front-wheel drive, yet it also has excellent gasoline economy and a modest base sticker price. Fiesta. Test drive Europe's most successful new car in history at more than 5,000 authorized Ford dealers across America.
A friend Herrera teeing it up for the Dallas Cowboys. After an interception by D.D. Lewis, took the Cowboys 3 plays to score from the 10. Roger Staubach going in from the 2.
Opportunity, that's what the Dallas team took advantage of, right?
Boy, that's what you got to do. Herrera with Gordon Bell and Bobby Hammond back deep for the Giants. Herrera comes out of the shadows and into the sunshine to kick it. It's going to be Hammond about a yard deep in the end zone, and Hammond with some room. Hit down by Jay Saldi, I believe. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League. It's intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Dallas Cowboys and the National Football League is prohibited. What about the scoreboard, Tom?
Okay, it's a Mosley 26-yard field goal for the Redskins. That's a Bakken field goal. We know how many he missed last week. A 3-0 lead over Chicago.
Get to the rest of the scores in a minute. That's Duck Coder on first down from the 26. Fumble. Dallas has it. The Cowboys recover the fumble at the Dallas 27. Let's see who got it. I think it was Cliff Harris.
All right, Coder used to carry the ball in the left arm and sometimes not protected. He was protecting it this time early. Too Tall Jones is already gone, and it looks like he tries to keep his balance at the last minute, and Cliff Harris did come up with that fumble recovery, huh?
And there's Doug Coder. Got hit hard and hit the ground hard. Staubach going for the bundle right off. For Drew Pearson, got him. At the 11, stopped by Bill Bryant.
A heck of a tackle by Bryant. What they did was send Golden Richards straight up the field on the far side, and this is an under pattern, and we've said it too many times, but nobody does this better than Drew Pearson. Excellent protection, a very deep drop by Roger, and boy, he could really zero in. Watch the recovery now by Bryant. Heck of an effort in the secondary.
The information is that it was not Cliff Harris, it was Randy White who recovered that fumble. Here's Staubach bringing the ball back to Pearson, who gets inside the 15. That was a 1st and 10 situation for Dallas. John Mendenhall.
Interesting story on Mendenhall. He arrived a little bit late. He did not make the team plane, and McVay and people were worried about whether, John was in the right mental attitude to play, but he made a great stop there, so it looks like 64's got it together.
Well, there was a little altercation during the week between Mendenhall and Dan Lloyd.
It's part of the game, isn't it?
Games are on Sunday. Second down situation has Pearson into the secondary to the 4-yard line. Stopped by Brian Kelly. But there, as we told you in our opening comments, is the reason you have not heard too much of Tony Dorsett.
Watch Carson, number 53 now. Scott puts a heck of a block on him, number 68, and just buries him. And Pearson just seems to grease the hole. It doesn't have to be big, just be there.
He bounced to about the 4. They put the ball back at the 5, where it's 1st and goal for the Cowboys. They already lead 7-0. We still have 6:19 left in the first period. Dallas is close again. Pearson. Maybe a yard, not much more. Gary Jeter closed it down nicely. There is number 33, a very famous fellow who used to be Tony Dorsett.
And contrary to some of the things you'll be hearing, there's no problem with, obviously, he or Preston Pearson. And Dorsett, to me, seems like a great young player that's just waiting for his chance. I see no impatience, at least obvious to us up here.
Certainly not. He's conducted himself very well. Second down. Hand off to Pearson. He lost it.
Carson may have that ball. No, it's Mendenhall that comes out with it, and he's going to turn it.
We'll watch him isolated down.
All right, you're down in there close now. Let's see what happens. Mendenhall, great coming off on that first charge. Runs through Rafferty. Boy, that ball was loose. He and Carson go for it. And Noseman comes out with it. There he goes.
Troy Archer is the one who stripped the ball from Pearson. So the Giants take over, and Dallas comes away with no points. They still lead 7-0.
I mean, it was really a good movie.
It was good, wasn't it?
Oh, honey, look, some poor guy left his lights on.
Larry.
Is he going to be in trouble?
Larry.
Boy, am I glad it isn't me.
Larry, it is you.
It is me. Oh.
The Die Hard has extra power to start your car when most batteries won't. Starting soon in your neighborhood. Sold only at Sears.
From the people who brought you Die Hard batteries, road handler tires, and Steady Rider shock absorbers comes the Sears Muzzler. The aluminized muffler that's only $19.99 installed. It's so tough, Sears promises the muzzler will last as long as you own your American-made car. Or return it for refund or replacement free. And if Sears installed it, they'll install the new one free. The Muzzler, only $19.99 installed. Only at Sears.
Watch the spectacular television premiere of That's Entertainment Part 2 tonight, starting at 8, 7 Central and Mountain Time, right here.
The Giants in the right side of your picture, standing back in their own end zone after Troy Archer knocked the ball loose from Preston Pearson. And John Mendenhall came up with the football. Dallas looked like they might take a 14-0 lead. Instead, it's Giant ball at the 5. First down. Zonka looking for room. Does not get it. Aaron Kyle came up from the outside.
He found it late, though, didn't he? And this, during the 2 or 3 years, 72, 73, 74, nobody made a total offense like number 39. I'll never forget with the Dolphins when he went into the playoffs, and against Cincinnati, Oakland, and Minnesota in a row, they took the opening drive and shoved him right down people's throat, and it set up the tone for anything that Bob Greasy at that time wanted to do, and he could still be that kind of a factor, I'll tell you.
Bob Tucker, the tight end to the right side. Zonka got about 3, make it 2nd and 7. That's Willie Spencer, who has replaced Coder at halfback. Spencer, who played for Memphis in the WFL, played for John McVay, and actually played instead of Larry Zonka when Zonka was hurt in those years.
By the way, Patrick, I was up in New York for the luncheon. The Touchdown Club of New York gave you the Golden Mike Award, and I was extremely proud to go up and have a liquid libation or 2 in your behalf, and it was excellent, and we're really proud of you.
I was extremely proud that you came. 3rd and 7. The Giants' Jerry Golsteyn under center. Does not gamble, goes to Zonka. Not enough for the first down, and Dave Jennings will come on.
Boy, the big guy's in good shape, though. He gave it a pretty good shot. The 2 carries he had total about 8 yards.
Well, he's down in weight. He's down to about 232. And that'll make it easier on that knee.
Yeah, and the knee, by the way, the repair was excellent, and that has given him no problem at all. He's quite an unselfish guy, though. You know that? He's quite a football player.
Dave Jennings back to punt with his back to you there, number 13, standing in his own end zone. Butch Johnson, the Dallas returner. They did not try to block the first punt, but watch him come this time.
Oh, he's kicking good.
A lot of whistles. And I don't know what the problem is. Maybe they took too much time, or Dallas might have jumped off sides. If so, it would be a giant first down, but from the indication so far, let's see.
Doesn't sound like...
Sounds like it's very popular with the Dallas fans. Too much time. It's a violation.
Delay of game, New York, northbound.
Delay of game is the same thing as too much time.
I tell you, Jennings, that's right. Jennings can kick the football, though, and that is so important these days, especially with a young offensive team like that.
And now Jennings about 5 yards deeper in his own end zone. Gets it off and gets it off high and to the right. Johnson fields it at the 40. Inside the 35 down to the 32. He took it in full stride. That punt took off from Jennings' foot like it was going to be better than it turned out to be. Brian Kelly is the guy who made the tackle. So with 3 minutes and 18 seconds left in the first period, it is still Dallas 7, the New York Giants nothing.
Sir, we all know Mobil 1 is the oil that saves you gas. Give me another good reason to buy it.
Well, it lasts. And lasts.
How long will Mobil 1 last? We drove it 15,000 miles without an oil change. And after all that, found Mobil 1 still protects as well as new ordinary oil.
It lasts. Lasts.
Mobil 1, the oil that saves you gas, saves you oil changes.
Stuntman, you get the bruises instead of the glory. You hit the deck and bite the dust till your bones ache. But now comes Miller time. Time to reach for the best tasting beer you can find. Miller High Life, America's quality beer.
If you've got the time, we've got the beer. Miller beer.
At Texas Stadium in Dallas.
Oh, yes.
No place quite like it.
I'll tell you one thing, though. I ate some Mexican food last night, and I was under siege the entire evening. The team eats that. They're pretty tough the next day, I'll tell you.
That's their pregame meal. First and 10, Cowboys. Staubach fakes to Pearson. Ball is deflected. Troy Archer, I believe, got a big paw up and knocked it down.
Boy, he and Jeter both had their arms up. Again, that is a young defensive line, other than, of course, Mendenhall and Gregory. But those other two people, Jeter and Archer, you're going to be reading a lot about them and hearing about them a long time. They're young and they're healthy. Chicago and St. Louis are now tied 3-all. That's in the first quarter still. Washington over Atlanta 3-0 still in the first. Baltimore 14, the Jets nothing, and that's in the first.
Second and 10, Pearson gets the call, and look at him pop it through the left side. Harry Carson, the middle linebacker, I believe made the first contact, and so did Jim Steinke help out. Watch it from the end zone. Watch the hold open.
All right, let's see it to the right of your screen. If it was like the stunt was on by the Giant defense. Archer took himself out, and Newhouse took care of Mendenhall, and it did leave a hole. If you stunt on defense, you got to make sure everybody makes it to the designated area, or you're really in trouble.
Third down coming up now. Ball at the Giant 25. The Giant 25. Third and 2 the situation. Outside Pearson. Got the first down. Bobby Bryant.
We watched Roger Staubach last week against Minnesota, and even though he was 60%, until the last drive or so. It didn't look like he threw it well. This pass was thrown well. Of course, 3rd and 2, it's a good call. And I'll tell you, Bryant kept slippery there from going right down the sidelines. Pearson made it look like he was going to step out and then tried to duck it.
I said Bobby Bryant. It's Billy Bryant. Pearson shifts deep. It's 1st down at the 16. The hand is back to Newhouse. They shut that one off pretty well. Jeter and Troy Archer.
You realize that the big change in the Giants since McVay took over last year has been the defense. They're allowing people about an average over the last 8 games, 7 last year and 1 this year, of about 12 points a game allowed, and they're not making at least the crucial mistake on defense, and they've really tightened that part of their game up.
Jeter just beat that block by Donovan. 2nd and 8. Pearson goes to the left. Newhouse gets the call in a rather strange one. He rolls the inside to 10. Brad Van Pelt and Clyde Powers.
Boy, Neely and Van Pelt really had a great Mexican standoff. The offensive tackle against the big linebacker.
Tom Landry. Those notes that he carries in his hand throughout every contest are just reminders as he shuttles his wide receivers and calls the plays.
Wouldn't you think he'd take his coat off today? It must be 200 down there.
Gotta be. Well, his shade is on that side, though. Maybe it's only 115. Roger Staubach fires wide open with Preston Pearson. Nobody near.
There's the experience of Preston Pearson. You can't do what he's done for 11 years and not know where people are. I think Stanky, the safety man, had the first man out. Watch to the right of your screen now, and you'll see 20 being taken out, and Pearson will come back across the middle. We're sorry about this picture, but that's because of the sunlight coming through this roof down here. I'm not going to try to say Stanky had the coverage, but it looked to me like he just thought Pearson was going to duck outside, and instead he went inside.
He delayed just a little bit, just long enough. Waters holding Herrera, making it 14-0 Dallas. 1 minute and 11 seconds left to play in the first period. Let's watch Jeter on that last play.
Jeter working on Donovan. 2 big young professionals. Jeter takes the inside and gets away with it. Donovan tries to clip him and doesn't do it. Hey, Jeter looks like he has the right idea. That's the one he was after.
14-0. The Dallas Cowboys lead the Giants with 1 minute and 11 seconds left to play in the first period. That touchdown set up by a fine punt return by Butch Johnson. Let's see what's happening as far as the scoreboard around the league is concerned.
21 Cincinnati Bengals 21, Seattle nothing in the first period. Looks like the Bengals found their offense finally. Chicago 3, St. Louis 3. We're keeping you obviously aware of that score. And I'll tell you the truth, I'm having trouble going through all these notes to give you all those scores. I'm going to have to look over my bookkeeping here.
Fran Herrera, who is not, by the way, a United States citizen. He still has to go back to Mexico, and
how often?
I think once every 6 weeks.
Not too bad.
Picked up another work permit. He works well, too. Line drive. This will be Gordon Bell from the 2. Bell. I saw a shoe come flying out of the end of that pile.
The Giants really went after Efrain Herrera, the man we were just talking about, the kicker, just to perhaps intimidate him should a field goal be a deciding factor. Boy, right now the Giant offense has got to get the load off that defense and move the football if they can.
They surely do. The defense has spent an awful lot of time on the field in that first quarter. First down, Giants at their own 31. They trail 14-0. Golsteyn. Outside Robinson. Benny Barnes right there. Looked like he could have been Walt Harrison.
Jimmy Robinson is only 5'9", 170 pounds, and now I think they're calling something. Here's the out. Now we've got sort of pumping iron, and Harris came over and took a shot. I don't even believe Cliff Harris made contact, but it looked like he did.
Bill Gregory is pushing Cliff Harris back. Charlie Waters is over still arguing. I don't know if the violation was against Barnes or Harris, but we'll find out from referee Gordon McCarter as soon as they step it off.
It's going to be unsportsmanlike, I think, but actually Robinson wasn't on the ground yet. I thought he was still 3. Maybe he was King's X.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, 43 defense.
Was against Cliff Harris.
All I know, if you know any safeties, though, tell them to go ahead and take that shot and worry about the flag later.
Tell them to play like Cliff Harris. First down, Giants right at midfield. Golsteyn pitches back to Bobby Hammond. Great Dallas pursuit. Too tall Jones, Cliff Harris.
Patrick, that's the scary thing about the Cowboys is that they have great speed and size. Too tall, 6'9", and he gets back to the outside and helps your linebacker on a play like that. And I'll tell you, the little man can run that just ran that play. They are not only large, but they are mobile as all get out.
Staggering and frightening to think that they've got 9 rookies on the team this year. 2 years ago, they had 12. So just in those 2 years, there are 21 men. They have rebuilt and stayed close to the top at the same time. Hammond. The big hand of Larry Cole came out to stop him.
Hammond's a little slow getting up. He's also a smaller back.
He looked over to the side and said, I need some help. Bobby Hammond strolls over. That's the end of the first quarter with Dallas leading on a hot afternoon in Dallas, 14-0 over New York.
When it's so cold, a radiator can freeze solid, and you're still rolling. That's the mark of Xerex. When it's so hot, a radiator can blow its top, and you're still driving cool. That's the mark of Xerex. When corrosion is eating holes in radiators, and you're still going strong. That's the mark of Xerex. Start fresh now with year-round protection. That's the mark of Xerex.
Are you still chained to?
Gotcha.
The rechargeable Norelco rotary razor lets you walk away, free from nicks and cuts. Its 36 surgical steel rotary razor blades are safely protected inside 3 floating heads to give you a comfortable shave that's razor close, razor smooth, for up to 3 weeks on a single charge. The rechargeable Norelco rotary razor. It lets you walk away from.
Gotcha.
The Ford in your future is coming. The new Ford Fairmont. A new car designed for today and the years ahead. Fairmont's mileage ratings are the same as a little VW Rabbit when both are equipped with automatic transmission. Yet Fairmont has 90% of the head, leg, and shoulder room of most large cars and fine all-around visibility. This kind of room is combined with the highest mileage rating in its class. Test drive Fairmont October 7th. Fairmont, the newest, better idea from Ford.
Dallas 14-0. A touchdown by Roger Staubach on a 2-yard run and a touchdown on a pass from Staubach to Preston Pearson.
Got one interesting score here I found. Detroit 7, New Orleans 14. The Saints 14-7 over Detroit in the second period. Looks like Stram's got the Saints back into football gear, huh?
It'll be 3rd down for Dallas. The ball just in Dallas for New York, I beg your pardon. Just in Dallas territory. The blitz was on. Golsteyn dropped it, and now he goes down. Randy Hughes just barely got a hand on him as he went by on a blitz.
And perhaps a veteran quarterback would have stepped up anyway when he saw the blitz. Now watch Golsteyn go back. He is 6'4", agile at 210. He doesn't think there's going to be any rush, but it's just the shoulder pad, and then he didn't have the ball firmly grasped, and it's worse than an INC. It's almost a sack.
So we'll see Dave Jennings back to punt for the Giants. And Butch Johnson back at his own 15 for Dallas. Good kick. At the 14. Johnson gets outside the 20. The fans think a flag should be thrown, but none is.
Super coverage, I'll tell you that. Al Dixon was down there for the Giants like a shot, number 88. Think the crowd wanted some kind of a flag to fall, do you?
I think so. That was my reaction, or what I got from them. Dallas will take it over. CBS Sports Spectacular presents the world's strongest men competition. Also the Cup and the Super Bowl of motocross next Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And that's quite a collection of strong men that we'll tell you about later in the afternoon. First and 10, Dallas. Ball at their own 22-yard line. They lead 14-0 over New York. This is Scott Laidlaw, I believe.
We've seen a lot of man-to-man coverage by the Giants, which I understand, but as John Simak has said, he's rebuilding in the secondary now for New York. And man-to-man coverage looks great as long as it's really operating. But boy, when you break it, you break the defense for 6 points, which we've already seen. That is a good aggressive defense, but they are young and they're just getting it together.
Laidlaw got 3 on his first carry, so it's 2nd and 7 for Dallas. The ball at their own 25. Opening minutes of period number 2 at Texas Stadium. Pearson shifts back deep. Laidlaw again. Stopped right at the line of the scrimmage by Troy Archer.
Incredible. Watch number 77 now. They're running straight at the young tackle, who is playing, by the way, with a strained knee. And he said he was going to try to give it a shot anyway, and he is active.
He has given it a good shot. There's Troy Archer.
He's a chess and ski bum and a horticulturist, too. You know what that is.
What a combination. Shotgun combination right here. A lot of jumping around by Dallas. Protection is forever. Caught. Golden Richard. Jim Steinke on the coverage. Out to the 42 where it'll be a Dallas first down. Joe Pisarcik, the Giants' backup quarterback, warming up.
Also in his first year in the NFL. Here's the play from the shotgun. The blind snap by Fitzgerald right on. Roger goes back into that shadow and throws. Now Rhodes had the short zone. And you can see that Golden just pulled it up inside. Pretty clever player, number 83.
And the Dallas setbacks are now Scott Laidlaw and Tony Dorsett. And this is Dorsett. Broke one. Got away from Brian Kelly, but Ray Rhodes.
Rhodes is an interesting story. One of the very fine receivers for a couple of years, but had played defensive cornerback at Tulsa. So they said, you want to play corner? And he said, I love it. And it looks to me like Rhodes' career is going to be a long one and a very good one at cornerback. That's a crazy switch. I never heard of anybody going from the good guys to the bad guys like Rhodes did.
Heard him going the other way. No gain for Dorsett. Dorsett breaks one. Close to a first down. In fact, he got the first down before he was stopped by Brad Van Pelt.
Whatever you do if you're playing defense against 33, don't let him get the second or third foot on the ground free. As soon as you get near him, grab it. That's what the Giants are trying to do. Watch this acceleration. That's what you got to worry about. Van Pelt hadn't have been there then. They might have been heading him off at the pass.
Van Pelt hurt himself when he fell on that artificial turf, and he had to be taken out.
Dorsett. Boy, he is instantaneous action off the snap, isn't he?
He really is. First down, Dallas, and Dorsett gets another crack. Tries to get to the outside and does. Breaks another couple. He is exciting. Troy Archer again on the tackle. There's Brad Van Pelt. Looks like he fell right on his shoulder.
Yeah. Boy, there's one of the guys that has come along to be a solid linebacker. Now watch Dorsett. He almost turns this play back against the grain, and if he does, he's gone. And I think that about every other play you're going to see 33 make is going to be a great defensive effort, or he's going to be going someplace.
Frank Marion took Van Pelt's place, by the way. Staubach deep, gives to Dorsett. To the 25. Harry Carson and Brian Kelly converge. And it looks like both of them might be shaken.
All right, this is something we haven't thought about. Obviously at Pittsburgh, he didn't get a chance to do this. He just dies and waits for it. The Giants had long gone in pursuit of Staubach. And I'll tell you now, you've got a problem. He puts two Giants out. They knock each other down. Brian Kelly, and I don't know who the other player is down there.
The other one is Carson. So that's all three of the linebackers who've been hurt in the last three plays. 14-0 Dallas with just over 10 minutes left to play before halftime.
Okay, Linda here's got to protect her family.
A woman?
Sure, a woman needs life insurance just as much as a man does. And this New York Life Defense has just the insurance plan to do it. Put the blitz on Linda's money problems. Block out her retirement worries. Come on, Linda, it's all yours now! And a girl!
I've got it. Financial security.
Where the name of the game is life, there's New York Life.
Announcing a unique new motor oil from Exxon Research that can actually save money. New Golden Natural Uniflow. Uniflow was tested in cars like yours. After break-in, it delivered an overall average of 16 extra miles per tank full. Savings like that could cut your gasoline bill the equivalent of about 3 cents a gallon. New Uniflow motor oil is Exxon's best engine protection ever. It conserves gasoline, saves money.
That's Harry Carson, who's still down, and let's look at what caused it.
All right, as we said, Tony Dorsett in 2 plays has wiped out the linebacking core of the New York Giants. That's Kelly and Carson there. Van Pelt left the play earlier. And I noticed the Giants have gone into the shade on the far side of the field, just trying to get a little bit of a respite while a middle linebacker is being administered to.
That linebacker problem has been solved somewhat by the fact that Brian Kelly seems to be all right. And Brad Van Pelt is back over one of those in the shade over there with his back to you.
Comes Archer over to check on the big middle linebacker. I think the thing is that Dorsett may be so darn quick that you don't get the body you shoot at, and you end up hitting somebody else that's trying to do the same thing.
So with Carson coming out and Brian Kelly recovering and Brad Van Pelt being back in the game, it is now Dan Lloyd, number 54, the third Giant linebacker. The rest of the defense remains just as it was.
San Diego 13, Kansas City 7 in the second period. Green Bay has Houston down. It's the Packers 7-0 over the Oilers. That's in the first period. That was a 40-yard pass from Lynn Dickey to somebody else.
Right here, there are 9 minutes and 50 seconds left before the half. Dallas leads 14-0. They have the ball at the Giant 25-yard line, 1st and 10. Dorsett and Laidlaw, the running backs behind Staubach. Scott Laidlaw with the forward handoff, scoots to the 20. To about the 17-yard line before he's stopped by Jim Stanky. But good yardage for Scott Laidlaw.
Oh, boy, and Scott, number 68, the offensive guard, got outside, and the Giants had collapsed it down so far that the hole that Laidlaw ran through was 7 or 8 yards wide.
It's an 8-yard pickup. So make it 2nd and 2, Dallas. The ball at the 17. Pat Summerall with Tom Brookshire at Texas Stadium, watching the Cowboys and the Giants. Back to Dorsett. Flag goes down. Dorsett out of bounds at about the 10 by Van Pelt.
They threw it almost on Ralph Neely's back, so it may be a holding call against the Cowboys. The Giants didn't get Dorsett down again, you know. He walked out of bounds standing still.
What acceleration he's got. Joe Pisarcik.
What's his nickname, you and I were told?
Patterson Plank Joe.
There was Broadway Joe, now there's Patterson Plank Joe.
That's the road that goes by the stadium in the Meadowlands. Here's Gordon McCarter.
Holding 89 offense. Second down.
Holding is called against number 89, Billy Joe Dupree.
Looks like Carson is still not feeling good, and it's very hot in which to recover. I'll tell you that, though.
Second and 12 for Dallas. Draw play, Laidlaw, nothing doing. Roy Archer again.
Notice J.T. Turner is in there now, and Mendenhall is out. J.T. Turner is the backup defensive lineman there for a couple of them. Mendenhall is not in the game right now, and we'll try to see if he has been hurt or not.
Harry Carson still down by the Giant bench. Looks like they might be getting ready for a trip to the locker room for him. Third down, Cowboys. The protection is excellent. Bill Bryant, but Drew Pearson.
I think you tipped it off, Pat, when you said the protection was excellent. They're trying to stunt on the defensive line. The Cowboys pick it up, and Roger can see straight down the middle. By the way, that's the shortest distance you can throw the pass, you know, is down the middle, and of course Pearson can catch it if he slides into second base.
He slid it about the 1 foot line, where it is now first and goal for Dallas. They already lead 14-0. 7.5 minutes left in the second period. Scott Laidlaw and Doug Dennison now one of the setbacks, the deep one. It is Dennison. Dallas now has 20.
Looks like Jack Gregory is down now, and he's on the 3-yard line rolling over. No, I'm sorry, that's Van Pelt again. He's holding his arm this time, and he's in pain.
Here's the touchdown again.
Nobody can score from the 2 any better than Dennison, I'll tell you that. He's a short yardage master.
He was also the Cowboys' leading rusher last year. Van Pelt has problems with his right forearm, as you can obviously see.
Pat, I saw Mendenhall down on the bench, and he's got a towel over his head, like he has sort of been wrung too. So the Giants are not only thin, but now they're hurting.
Maybe Mendenhall's problem might be just the heat. Herrera makes it Dallas 21. The New York Giants, nothing. There's John Mendenhall trying to get cooled off. It is extremely hot on that playing field.
Sit tight, Pop. I'll pump myself. Let me tell you something, gang. Any gas will get you where you want to go. But it ought to be in there cleaning your carburetor, too. Now, you want to make sure you're getting the job done, use new STP gas treatment. You just pump in a can with every tank load of gas, and it goes to work cleaning like a bandit. Clean that carburetor. Get a hold of this, and do it yourself. Keep the change, partner.
Leslie Caron for Color Track by RCA.
In Gigi, my brooch was blue, the leaves were green, and my gown was lavender lace. If these colors don't look right to you, you should know about Color Track from RCA. Getting the color right is what Color Track is all about. It actually adjusts the colors and locks them on track.
Before you see the Color Track system grabs it, aligns it, defines it, sharpens it, tones it, and locks the color on track.
RCA is making television better and better.
60 Minutes takes you on a stakeout as government agents move in on the mob. Tonight at 7, 6 Central and Mountain Time.
Number 53 is Giant middle linebacker Harry Carson, who's just left the field. We don't know the nature of his injury as yet. As soon as we find it out, we'll let you know. Our friend Herrera to kick it off now. Bobby Hammond and Gordon Bell deep for New York. 21-0 Dallas. Herrera off the inside of the foot. It'll be Bobby Hammond. Hammond about the 31. Scott Laidlaw and Mike Hegman made the tackle.
And that's Hammond's third good run back. They've had good position after the kickoff. He's got it out to the 30 all 3 times. Uh-oh, here's a score. Baltimore 20, the Jets 3. McCauley scored from the 1 for Baltimore. That's a third quarter score, and looks like Walt Michaels' team has run into a buzzsaw. Baltimore's coming on again.
Larry Zonka's come out of the game. The running backs, I believe, are going to be Spencer and Bobby Hammond. Willie Spencer's as big as Zonka. New quarterback is Pisarcik. He forgot the ball. Harvey Martin got it. The exchange from center between Pisarcik, number 9, and Hill didn't come off. It'll be a Dallas first down at the Giant 30.
I wonder if Pisarcik even got a snap on the sidelines from Hill warming up. The snap is a very firm thing by those centers, and it looks like the young quarterback never even realized he had the football.
Ralph Hill, the offensive center, and Pisarcik, who had just come in. So it'll be 1st and 10, Dallas. Roger Staubach still the quarterback. Newhouse now, and Dorsett the running backs, and it'll be Newhouse. Trying to get outside, could not. Frank Marion, number 51, the linebacker, the substitute linebacker. There's Tom Landry. Sending in plays. Right now he's talking to Butch Johnson.
All right, Harry Carson is being taken to the hospital for examination of his lower back. We're not saying that's an injury or anything else, but it's examination, and of course the doctors were there, and that's one thing about the new modern stadium. They have x-ray facilities and all right here at this ballpark.
Scott Laidlaw has replaced Newhouse now. Fake draw to Laidlaw. Pearson again. Bill Bryant on the coverage, but a perfect strike from Staubach. What can you do?
And again, it's right down the middle. You've got the linebackers are hurt now. Carson's not in there anymore. The draw will keep the linebackers as close as possible. Good blocking. And this is a short throw. It's a lot shorter than going deep corner when you can look right down the rifle barrel and fire to number 88, I'll tell you.
Staubach has hit 8 out of 10 so far. It's a first down, Dallas. Ball at the Giant 11. 1st and 10. Dorsett.
There's number 1. Looked like they trapped Turner. It's a false trap. They ran everybody away and peeled back with the other back to block. Now he would have scored in a touch game out in Central Park.
Tony Dorsett's first NFL touchdown. And as Tom Brookshire said,
registered over the last 12 years, 93 out of 100 are still on the job.
One step closer. One step closer. One step closer. That's what Exxon people say. One step closer. At the end of every day, Exxon's dedicated to finding energy for you. Energy for a strong America.